First of all, I think one of the things that I talked to our team about was being able to limit their second chance points, keeping them off the boards, limit our turnovers, and hopefully not let them get out in transition too many times. And I think one of the things that became evident, and it started early, is that they dominated us on the boards. So that obviously posed a problem throughout the game. And then, of course, they were able to get to the free throw line, particularly in the second half, an inordinate amount of time. And that really made it hard on our team, just because they were getting easy buckets and opportunities to score. I thought our kids competed, and, I certainly thought that they, put themselves in a position to possibly get the lead there late in the second half. I think we cut it to a one-possession game. And then Chris, they go to the 1-3-1, and the 1-3-1 affected us. And I think more than anything, it slowed us down. We were able to get a couple of possessions there and take advantage of some ball screening opportunities and pulling their bigs out. But we have a lot of work still ahead of us, and we've got to continue to get better. But kudos to those guys. I thought their team also competed and found a way to win, and particularly at the start of the second half, they were able to come out and they were ready to go, and I think they kind of knocked us back there for a second, and we had to regroup. Questions?
Coach, the game has changed a bit with rules, with more freedom of movement, but tonight, here's a game that was 2 hours and 17 minutes with 52 fouls. How did that affect you guys? And
I don't know what the hell they're calling. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't know. I mean, you talk to the officials. I don't know if the coaches know. I don't know if the players know. I don't know. I'm sitting there, and it is hard to tell. Shots go up now, and you get a box out. There's a foul on the guy who's boxing out. You go to the boards. There's not. I understand, obviously, the pace of the game, and I understand trying to increase scoring, which, what was the final score? I don't even know. Well, they increased it on their end. We didn't increase it on our end. But, I think everyone understands that there is going to be a period of adjustment. I thought there were a lot of fouls called. And I think, from a coaching standpoint, what is frustrating is, and I thought they were consistent, but I think what you're trying to find, the opposite of that is you're trying to figure out what the heck consistency is now, and what a foul is and what it isn't. And so I think it's going to take some time. But just like every year or every other year when they change rules, we eventually adjust to them, and the game becomes much more clean. So, and it's new for the officials too, and so I get it. But we certainly didn't lose the game because of that. They beat us. So, we just got to figure it out on our end exactly what's allowed and what's not.
Coach, you mentioned all the fouls in the second half. It seemed like you were able to stagnate their offense. Was the changing up ball screen defense, how you were defending their ball screens, was that what contributed to?
How we were defending their ball screens?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I think,
Is that what you were going for, I guess?
Well, I think, you have to try to give different looks. But, for instance, we never were able to handle their cross-screen lane play, and they throw it in, dump it in. They get like 5 buckets off of it. And, it may be the play one of the plays we went over the most. So that's disappointing.
Why is that tough to guard? They've been doing that for 2 years now, and they get it every time.
Well, I think there's a couple of things. Number one, you have to be alert. You have to understand what's going on. I was disappointed in our guys a couple times because it was a big-to-big screen, and we could have just switched that. It's not always a big-to-big screen. Typically, it's a guard-to-big screen. Then the one late in the second half, Eric Washington sees that Eric helps and stays, but Eric takes off before the other post gets there. And I always tell guys, there's no need to take off and you're worried about sprinting up to get to the top when a dunk is going to occur. So it's a good play, and it's certainly a good play early in the year. I don't know if there's a coach in America that has every single thing in, every coverage. You always worry about screens because there's just so much that you're trying to get put in and make sure that you cover those things. But we certainly covered those plays. They still execute. And I will say this, Farr and Reynolds do a terrific job of catching the ball when it's thrown in there because they're throwing bullet passes. Now, they catch them. and they catch them even if it's someone on them. And, you know, from a coaching standpoint, it makes me go, "Rrr, rrr." Makes me feel good to see that. I need somebody to do that. I like it. I mean, I think that's what you do. The ball's thrown to you, you own it and say it's mine.